Can you guys hear me? Let's make sure that you can hear me, that there's not like a weird looping echo or some other weird stuff going on today. Whoa. Maybe Vince can turn that down. Okay, so my new studio is at home, and Vince was monitoring audio in the other room, so I heard myself, and I have something in my eye, so I'm not just like flirtily batting my eyelashes at you. I'm trying not to dig around in my eye because it hurts. Wow, we have quite a group today. 19 people. That's awesome. I'm really sorry that I wasn't around all week long. It's been such a crazy week. You can tell I'm somewhere different today. My new studio space in my house. So I decided not to renew my lease at my studio for quite a few reasons. I just, I haven't been spending as much time there lately. I've been doing a lot of painting at home, and like the last couple months, it's really, I go there, record a video, and that's really all I'm there for. Throughout the week, I'm at home painting a lot of the time. Ever since we lost our one boxer, Boris, in February, we brought Mr. Moon home, and so there wasn't a whole lot of reason for me to be there. Mr. Moon, I had to go there and be with him. So I just slowly stopped spending as much time there and decided to save a few bucks since I'm not utilizing the space properly and just move home. So that's where we are. So I'll give you a quick turnaround tour of the space. Keep in mind, it is kind of a mess right now because I am still in the process of moving stuff out of the space that was here and moving stuff into the space. And so you can see into my living room over here, my front room, the yellow wall, you can see there's a bunch of boxes and stuff there. That's stuff that was back here. So there are some boxes back here and in my living room over here anyway, so it is a mess. But anyway, I'll kind of show you. So this is me. Do you love my purple walls? I love my purple walls. And over here is my living room that is a total mess, so don't judge me. So we're at the back half of my living room. Can you hear Mr. Moon? Mr. Moon! I'll bring him over here in a minute. You can see my plywood wall that is awesome that I built all by myself. I'm pretty proud of that. And my pizza pillow right there. Then over on this side, let's make you super dizzy. Over on this side, we have the new studio space. And look at that. I have silver velvet for the background. It's not quite as flamboyant as it looks. On video, it's just really nice and subtle. And my little bookshelf with my fun things in it. My little marquee that I can put other little fun sayings on. My dino with plants in him. For those of you who know me, the dino is full of plastic plants. So no plants will be murdered on that bookshelf. Those plants don't need water or care or sunlight or anything. And then my paintbrushes over here. So yeah, this is a much smaller space than I'm used to, and it is packed full. But I think it's good because at the studio, I feel like my studio space was way too big for me. I had these grand ideas of how I was going to use this space, and then it just ended up not being practical. But it was so big that I could just put a pile of crap over here and then I would never have to touch it again. And so then I ended up with these piles of just junk all over the place, and I'm tiptoeing through them. I have my two little places that I use, and the rest of it is just storage for junk. So here I can't do that. So yes, I'm not a very tidy person. I'm kind of a mess. We're going to call it creative organization. I am creatively organized because I know what's in each pile. I know the chronological order of the pile. I know, okay, what I'm looking for is not likely to be in that pile because that pile has been here since that date. And what I'm looking for existed on this date, so it's most likely to be in this pile, probably close to the bottom of it. That's how I organize. But I can't really do that here. So, anyway, did you notice on my easel over there is a painting? That is what we're going to paint Tuesday. And we are going to paint live on Tuesday. So it will be live publicly, not just for you guys. So we will figure out, I want to make sure that I'm still offering you guys, you know, something awesome. So right now, you know, we do the viewing parties, which is kind of like taking the week's video and personalizing it for you guys so that you can, you know, get a little bit more information out of it than just the average person. But since we're going to be doing it live, that kind of negates the viewing party, I feel like. Not to mention the viewing parties end up being about twice as long as the video. So if a live video is like 2 hours long, that's going to put a viewing party at like 4 hours. And I don't know that you guys are really ready for that. I know some of you say that you would watch it if it were 10 hours long, but I think that would be very few of you. So I am going to try and figure out how we're going to replace the viewing parties on weeks that I do live. I don't plan on doing live every single week. So we do just kind of need to figure out what we're going to do. What we're going to do instead of viewing parties. So I have a couple options that I'm weighing, and we'll figure it out as we go. We might just kind of mess around every, you know, week and kind of throw things at the wall and see what sticks. Whatever you guys end up liking the best, maybe we'll just kind of go with that. So that's really all I have for you guys today. But we can talk. So if you guys have questions, shout them out in the chat. Put them in all caps so that I can make sure that I see them. I know I'm seeing a lot of comments in there about wanting live directed paintings. My issue with doing live directed paintings every Saturday is live directed paintings are something that I've set aside for the $15 plus patrons. So if I move that down to, you know, everybody 5+ every single week, and I have to come up with something else for the $15 patrons. I'm not against doing that, but either way, I still have a lot of options that I have to weigh. So the weeks that I do recorded videos, because I still will do recorded videos from time to time, I know I will, we will absolutely still do viewing parties. James wants to meet Mr. Olaf. So in our house, we have, because Mr. Moon lives here now, we have Mr. Moloff at our house. So you know how like Brad and Angelina, and they were called Brangelina. So Moon and Olaf make Mr. Moloff at our house. Kind of like Brangelina, only cooler and more attractive, I think, personally. So let's see. Hey, Vince.
Yes.
Where's Mr. Moon?
He's right here.
Uh-oh, I hear him. Can you bring him? Have you guys missed Mr. Moon? I missed him at the studio so much. So, oh, I hear him. Here he comes. There he is. Mr. Moon. Hi, buddy. Look, everybody missed you. No, you don't want to be seen? Huh? No camera time? No. And he and Olaf are best friends. Well, I take that back. Mr. Moon is in love with Olaf.
Whoa.
Wow. Olaf is afraid of Mr. Moon because he's been scratched and bit on the nose one time.
That's funny.
Okay, Olaf, come here. Everybody wants to meet you. Come see Mama. So this is Olaf, guys. He's my baby. I love him. Olaf, hi! So that's Olaf. Okay, he's camera shy. He loses his hair, so that's he doesn't have mange or anything. He's just got some bald spots, huh? Come here. Come here. Hi. That's it. Okay. He's apparently camera shy. Look at how fast his tail moves, though. I see your tail waggling. I can see your tail waggling. So, yeah. Mr. Moon is in love with Olaf. He comes and, like, rubs up on his face. And Olaf just pretends that he's licking my hand. Olaf just pretends that he can't even see Mr. Moon. And he bit you on the nose one time and made you cry, huh? Poor Olaf. Poor buddy. Okay, that's enough. So, that's the Moloff. But I promise to not let Olaf bark during videos the way we let Mr. Moon scream in videos. Mr. Moon is much louder since I moved him home. I know that you find that hard to believe, but if you can hear that, it never stops. So everybody who was like, he sounds lonely, trust me, that cat is the least lonely cat in the world. He just is the most vocal cat in the world. Oh, Olaf, Eileen said, nice butt. Let's see. Denise said, so you will still be doing videos for Tuesdays if there's no live. Yeah, I still will be doing a video every Tuesday. It's really going to depend on how I feel about the painting. There's some paintings that I'm like, I feel confident that I can do this one live, no problem. And there's other ones that, especially if I think it's going to be a really long painting, I'm more apt to record it because then I can kind of control how long it is rather than doing like a 6-hour live painting. So yeah, we will still have videos every Tuesday. This last Tuesday was just, man, this has just been so much work trying to get, all of the moving parts going so that I could move back home here. Let's see. Mr. Moon is singing. Mr. Moon, I don't know what his deal is, but all he does is meow, like constantly. And there's Olaf coming back. Hey. Was Vince dancing in the background? Were you dancing? Yeah, he was dancing. I told him not to do that, and yet he does it anyway. He's such a punk. Oh man, my hair looks so bad. I need such a haircut. I'm trying to decide if I'm growing it out or not, and I don't know what to do with it, and I don't know. No, guys, please don't encourage him. He is not allowed to dance. No. No more. If he dances again, he gets in trouble. No, he's not shy. Oh, that's my mom. Hi, Mom. She knows he's not shy. So, what do you guys want to talk about? I am here for you. Stop it, Gwen. 15 minutes we've been going. I will hang out with you for as long as you want. So, tell me what you want to talk about. How about skipping? No, he's not allowed to skip. Why am I squashing his form of expression? Because I don't like dancing anyway. Like, I'm not against dancing, but I think that dancing is embarrassing. So I don't dance where other people can see me. And so if he dances where people can see him, I get like really embarrassed. So yeah. No, Vince, you were not born to dance. Oh yeah, May Challenge. How is everybody's May Challenge going? So I haven't even been online much, you guys. I know you've probably noticed that. You've probably tagged me in things that I have not responded to. I just have been like almost completely MIA, trying to do all of this and get a painting going for next week. And so, yeah, we need to get our May challenges posted, and I want to hear all about it. No, Eileen, if you encourage him to dance and he does it, you're going to be in trouble. Lisa says, brushes? Nothing yet. I asked for an update, and they said that they would get me an update on Tuesday because, you know, with Memorial Weekend, they'll be closed tomorrow. So hopefully I'll have an update on Tuesday with the brushes. Deb finished the May challenge. Yeah, I will find out. I can see behind me, Zenip. If he dances behind me, I will see it. Okay, Snuggle Gold and Elephant. Ooh, Cheryl, that sounds awesome. Show us the new car. I can't show you my new car. It's in the driveway. I'm on my computer. Oh, I guess I do have a picture on my phone, huh? Yeah, and then on top of all of it, you know, we're all busy. And we decided to take a break and take OLAF for a WALK if you catch my DRIFT. He's laying right there. And while we were out, I decided that the cargo space in our car was way too small for him. And I told Vince, you know, we should just start looking at maybe trading in our car. Just start kind of doing some research. So we traded in our car the next day. And it's so cute, I think. Oh yeah, I got to show you what we are painting next week too. So here is a quick photo on my phone of our, oh, you can't even see it. There. Yes, it's fluorescent green. It's like neon green. My cute little Jeep Renegade. Yay! And Olaf likes it. So that's what's important. We bought it for him, so he might as well like it. Does everybody want to see next week's painting, or should we wait a little bit? What? Vince, did you do it again?
No.
Katrina said, I saw that, Vince. All right, that better be it. Okay, so let's see. You guys wanted to see what we're doing next week. So it's pretty simple. I decided I really love the way that the light, don't lick your toes while Mama's broadcasting. I really like the way that light looks when there's a storm coming and the sun kind of peeks through. And we get a lot of that here in the summer when we get storms, which isn't very often. But summer storms, summer rainstorms here are really the only part about summer that I love, because we don't get storms like that any other time of the year, and they're super rare here. We might get 2 or 3, maybe 4 all summer long. So our painting 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when was it? With the barn and the stormy sky. That was kind of one of those first ones, you know, with the dark sky and the bright spot on the ground. So I'm kind of following that same theme this week. We're going to do another one I guess I'm calling it my Coming Storm series. So I imagine there will be more. So that's what we are doing this week. It's a pretty simple painting. It's very loosely based on a Pixabay photo that I found. The composition is quite different, but yeah, very loosely based on it. So this is what we're going to be doing next week. I think my tree, something's wrong with my tree. Kind of looks like it's leaning over. I plopped that tree in last minute, last night, like 11 o'clock at night. I guess it wasn't that late. Anyway, late enough. There might or might not have been a glass of wine involved. So my tree is crooked. So it won't be crooked when we paint it Tuesday, hopefully. So that's basically what we're going to do next week. Lisa's asking, is there a place to post the challenges? Post them in the comments of the challenge post in the Jams group. I don't know what June's challenge is yet. I am not that much of a planner. I do not think ahead. So... Oh, good. I'm glad you guys like it. And yeah, Denise says, I need to practice my clouds. This one, there's really not a lot of cloud action going on. I can see if you can see this. He does this all the time. Can you see him rolling around on his back, kicking his feet in the air? You can just see his feet. He's such a goofball. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so we're not really doing clouds per se. I think that if you have a hard time with clouds, this should be pretty easy for you because it's kind of like clouds without the details. And I'll make sure that we go pretty in depth on it. Oh, the one thing is I will be painting on a gessoed canvas, like a canvas that I gessoed, because I feel like it's just easier to do this technique. You don't have to, but I know that there's a lot of you who refuse to do it any other way than exactly how I'm doing it. So you might want to gesso a canvas. Now, let's chat about that for a second because I get questions like every single day. I don't know why people are like obsessed with gesso. I don't understand that. But a lot of people seem to be really obsessed with gesso or just not understand it, or there just seems to be a lot of confusion about gesso. So the point I want to make is that if you buy, because people will say, why didn't you gesso your canvas? If you buy canvases at the store, I can almost guarantee that it's already gessoed. There's no need to gesso it. What gesso does is prepare the surface of the canvas so that your paint spreads properly. If a canvas is not gessoed, the paint is just going to grab onto the fabric and really it's going to stay there. It's probably going to dry instantly because that fabric is going to suck all the moisture out of the paint. So your canvas is already gessoed. You can add additional gesso to it if you see fit, like if you want to change the texture. I like to add gesso when I do techniques like what we're doing on the sky here, because it's the gesso that I add is a little bit drier. It absorbs a little bit more moisture out of the paint than the pre-primed canvas, and it's got just a little bit more texture to it so that when I apply the paint really just kind of sticks right there. So that's why I like to add extra gesso to it, is to just change the texture. But let me prove to you, well, I don't have a regular canvas here, but you'll be able to see this. This is what a canvas would look like if it were not gessoed. You ready? Ta-da! See, you can see me, can't you? So this is, let's see if I can get it really close. You can see the weave. You see that? So this is a Michaels canvas. See on the edge here? I was scratching paint. I swear that's paint. It's not gunk. I had painted on this canvas so many times, and I was just sitting here taking a break, and there was a little piece of paint hanging off, so I grabbed it, and I started peeling it, and it peeled all of the pre-prime, like the gesso that came on the canvas, peeled off straight down to the fabric. I've never had that happen before. So I kept it because I thought, well, this is going to be perfect for me to show people the difference between a canvas that is not gessoed and a canvas that's gessoed. So peel off another piece. So this fabric is very, very thin, very, very transparent. And if I tried to paint on this, it wouldn't really go anywhere. It would be a nightmare to try and paint on. So to all of you who wonder why I never prime or gesso my canvas, because you're not required to. It's already gessoed unless you've peeled it all off like I just did. So, yeah, let's see if you guys have any questions about that. Oh, Denise is doing better with her clouds. Good, good, good. Vince, did you do it again? I'm going to close the door. He needs to stop. He's such a punk. Time to start thinking about retreat yet. Atra, you of all people should know better than to even ask that. Denise loves my house. Thanks. It's painted all kinds of crazy colors. You can see my bright yellow living room back there, and my kitchen is like bright pink. Every room in my house is painted a totally different color because that's how I roll. No, we will not be talking about retreat anytime soon. White gesso or colored gesso, whatever you like. I only ever use white. You could even use clear. What size of canvas? I usually do 12 by 16. That's what I almost always do. It's just easiest. The reason I don't typically do larger is because, you know, I just feel like it's just going to extend the length of the video unnecessarily when, you know, the techniques and the size of brushes that I use between a 12 by 16 and a 16 by 20 are really almost exactly the same. But a 16 by 20 is going to take me longer in a video, and I am conscious of your desire to spend a certain amount of time watching a video. So that's why I do 12 by 16. You can do whatever you like. You've never seen anything like what? What? I'm seeing interesting and... Oh, okay. So he didn't do it that time. Good. Cheryl asked, why am I applying gesso? So again, it's just because I wanted to change the texture of my canvas. That's it. When I scrub, I like a really dry, toothy surface. If it doesn't matter to you, don't gesso it. That's just my preference. Denise says, I'm using canvas boards, but if I want to give it to someone, should I use a stretch canvas or does it matter? It doesn't matter. Really, your materials don't matter. It's what you do with them. Genuinely, it doesn't matter. For example, one of my favorite artists today, I notice he does acrylic paintings on watercolor paper and, you know, like a 12 by 12 watercolor paper, he sells them for $650. So the difference between a canvas board and a stretch canvas is, it's preference. It doesn't matter. What canvas? What canvas, Gwen? How do I store finished paintings? Not properly. Like that. They pretty much just lean up against the wall. Hang them on the wall. Oh, all the paint peeled off that canvas. I know. I've never seen anything like that either. Like one time I had a painting that I gessoed. Like I had painted and then I had gessoed and then painted on top of it a million times. Like this canvas was super heavy. And there was a little bit of paint hanging off and I peeled it. And it peeled off like in one sheet down to the layer that I had gessoed. So I had like this big sheet of leather. But I have never had it peel all the way down to the fabric like that. To peel off the original layer of factory gesso. I've never experienced that before. It was the weirdest thing ever. But this should kind of illustrate to you also how cheap Michael's canvases are. So I would not, in the purest sense of the word, I'm such a peeler. There's still more. I would not, in the literal sense of the word, I would never call this canvas. That's not canvas. If you guys wear like, you know, like Converse high tops, those are canvas. That's canvas. This, it's like really cheap, really thin almost like linen, but even that's being pretty generous. Like, this is pretty thin, pretty awful. I bet if I dug just a little bit, if I put a little effort into it, my finger would go straight through this fabric. So, yeah. Yay, Michael's canvases. Anyway. Denise says, people say to reuse my boards because I have so many just laying around, but when I use a used canvas, it comes out bad. Well, I don't know what you mean by it comes out bad, but I paint over old canvases, both boards and stretched, all the time. So I guess it depends on what you mean by it comes out bad. If it's a texture thing, just get a sandpaper and sand it down. Oh, it cracks? What brand of paint are you using, Denise? Because I've never experienced that. I take that back. I did experience some cracking one time, and it was when I was using the Artist Loft paint. I think that has more to do with the paint that you're using than the canvas or the boards. What else do you guys want to talk about? Like I said, I'm here to hang out with you and talk to you for as long as you want. It shouldn't have anything to do with the blow dryer. I use the dryer too. I've never had that problem. Well, hello, Tan. I'm glad you could make it for a few minutes. Denise, I really think it has more to do with the brand of paint that you're using. So I'd be interested to find out what that is. What else, you guys? Give me some questions. We have 25 people here. That's pretty awesome. I kind of feel bad because I'm like, yay, I have a great audience and nothing to say to you or tell you. A supply list for Tuesday. I will post the link for our event as soon as we're done here. I can't get to it right now because I'm concerned that I will introduce some heavy lag into our video, even though I think my internet here is going to be stronger, so we shouldn't really have those problems. But yeah, I'll post a link to our event as soon as we're done here, and it's got the image as well as the materials list. Can you give me advice on showing at the gallery? Act confident. I don't know. What kind of advice do you want, Nisa? Ask me whatever questions you have about it. I'm super proud of you. That's exciting. I'd like to know what, like, do you know what you're going to be showing yet? Have you painted what you're going to be showing yet? Do I still own the gallery? I don't. I sold my gallery about a year ago. And I did that so that I could devote 100% time to you guys. I did. I absolutely did. So the gallery still exists, but it's not mine anymore. So, yeah. Okay, don't tell anybody you're scared, Nisa. That's number one. You act confident. If you act scared, so when you're selling things, there's something called perceived value. So, you know, and perceived value can, it's kind of, I'm trying to think of how to explain this as it relates. So perceived value, let's say that you have a painting and you put a $50 price tag on it. Or let's say at $20. Somebody's going to look at it and go, 20 bucks. And that's a really low price. They're going to think it's worth 20 bucks. Where the same painting, if you put $100 on it, you know, that's telling the person that it's got more value than a $20 painting. So it doesn't mean that you can go slap like a $10 million price on it, right? But I mean, it has to be reasonable. But if you tell somebody my work is only worth 20 bucks, that's all they're going to perceive that your work is worth. But in art especially, perceived value comes not only from price, but in your attitude and how you present yourself. So you may be terrified, and you may be, maybe you're not, let's just say, for sake of argument for the example, let's just say you're not 100% happy with the painting that you made, and you're afraid. If you tell people or show people that you're afraid, and maybe you messed up or whatever, the perceived value of you as an artist and your art goes down. So, be confident. Act like this is nothing new to you. And, when somebody says, oh, I love this, say, thank you. Don't be all like, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. Like you've never been told that before, just be confident. I think that that's the most important thing. Let's see. They want me to do all original 12 paintings, 12 seasonal paintings. Oh my gosh, it's a good thing it's not until January. Sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. Okay, Olaf, that's enough. Thank you. Yep, and then my mom said when people recognize your name, the value increases. Exactly. But they don't get to recognize your name until you put yourself out there confidently, and you put yourself out there often. So the more you get out there, and by out there, I don't necessarily just mean in galleries, go to events where your audience is most likely to be, collectors, art lovers, other artists. Other artists buy other artists' art a lot. I would say, let's see, in my own house, I think I have one painting of mine hanging on the wall. Just one. Everything else is, other artists. So get to know these people, and don't be shy about telling them who you are and what it is that you do. And that's how people get to recognize your name. But if you're just shy and you're like, you don't want to go say hi to anybody. So when I owned my gallery, on opening night, I would always ask any new artists to be there. And there were, I would say 90% of the time, like if somebody was standing there looking at the art by my new artist, I had to tell the artist, they're standing there, they've been standing there for like 5 minutes. You need to go over there and introduce yourself. Don't wait for the gallerist to tell you that, because they may not. If you see somebody standing there, go introduce yourself. I guess that's it. I don't know. Let me know if I if I gave you too much or not enough. And speaking of shows, at an outdoor festival, would you hang wrapped canvas or panels? I don't think it matters. Really, I don't know why with artists there's this perception that panels are cheap and canvas is expensive. The difference between the two is your preference in, liking a bouncy or a firm surface to paint on. So a canvas is going to be bouncy. A panel is going to be firm. So there's that preference. There's preference on how you want to display it. Do you want to frame it, or do you like it to just look floating? So there's that as well. I don't think that an art lover is coming up and going, oh, that's painted on a canvas board. Too bad. If it were painted on a stretched canvas, I'd be all over it. If somebody is saying that, I would just disregard them. They don't know what they're talking about. The vast majority, 99.9% of the people who are coming to look at your art don't care if it's on a stretched canvas or a board. Maybe I misunderstood that question, but I don't have anything against boards, panels, whatever. And so many people tell me I should be selling my art, but I don't think it's good enough or that people would want it. So if people are telling you that you need to be selling it, then it's time to start selling it. And you don't know if it's good enough, and you don't know if people will buy it until you try. You are never, ever going to, unless you put yourself out there, you are never, ever going to get to the point where you look at your art and go, this is ready to sell. I am now confident and I am going to sell. That's not going to happen. So if you're afraid, do it anyway. And you're going to get little bits of confidence along the way. You know, people who look at it, when you see someone standing there looking at it for a few minutes, or somebody tells you this is really great, whether or not they buy, those little things are going to help you build your confidence. And then the first time somebody buys, you're going to feel like all you paint is masterpieces. Seriously, it will put you up on cloud 9. And that's not to say you won't be knocked down off of that cloud 9 when you don't sell again for, 6 months, a year, whatever. But you don't know if you're ready. You don't know if your art is good enough. You don't know if people are willing to buy unless you try. That's it. Donna, why can't I see what people are typing? I can't see about dancing and brushes. Donna, I don't think that you are live. So down by the volume button on your YouTube video, well, she's not going to hear me. Can somebody in chat help Donna out? Because I don't think she's live. She needs to push the live button. Oh, Katrina did. Thank you, Katrina. Yeah, Eileen says, I think frames are so personal. I don't want to spend money on frames for boards. So don't. There's no reason to. Because chances are, you're going to buy a frame to put in the board, put the board in, and the person is either going to buy a different frame for it, or strangely, they won't buy the art because they don't like the frame. So, do I recommend framing art? Almost never. I mean, if it's a delicate drawing or a watercolor, something that has to be protected, it has to be framed, yes, you definitely want to frame that. Like a painting, I have seen people decide against buying a piece of art because they didn't like the frame, when all they have to do is pop the art out of the frame, buy a new frame. So, no, I agree. Don't frame it. Oh, see, Vince, I love that.
What?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That was a
Wayne Gretzky quote.
I don't care if it was a Wayne Gretzky quote. It was perfectly placed, and I appreciate it. Self-confidence rant, exactly. I don't ever frame anything either. No. And what else? What else, you guys? Been going for 45 minutes. That's not too bad. But we can definitely go for some more. In the materials list for Tuesday's painting, it does say a fan brush and a 1/2-inch filbert. And I know that you guys don't have my 1/2-inch filberts or my fan brush, but use whatever. If you don't have, clearly you don't have my 1/2-inch filbert, you can use like the 1/2-inch flat. I'm using or even the number 8 filbert. You'll just end up making more brush strokes with the number 8 filbert. I wanted to use my 1/2-inch because I like that it gives me a little bit of a softer shape and blend than the 1/2-inch flat. So that's why I used my filbert. And I hope they're in very, very soon. But you can use the flat or the number 8 filbert if you like. When are we going to do watercolor again? I don't know. You guys always ask me for watercolor, and then I do watercolor, and it gets like 50,000 thumbs down in the first 10 minutes, which thumbs down don't mean anything except for me to go, oh, people don't like that. And then like nobody watches the video. It gets less than half the amount of views in a week that normal videos do. So I'm not convinced that watercolor is something that the majority of my audience wants to see, because every time I put one out, it sure seems to be hated. So I don't know. Do it for us only. I don't know. I am really, we'll all watch it on a continuous 24-hour loop. Yes. I really love watercolor, and it's something that I really want to do. I don't know that it necessarily fits in on my channel right now. I am weighing a couple of options, so I'm not saying that we're never going to do watercolor again, because I am in love with it. But yeah, so I'm weighing some options. A fund challenge? I'm not sure what you mean, Nisa. Oh, Cheryl says, what do you think the pink and green stars next to our names mean? So those of you with a star are YouTube sponsors. Those of you who don't have stars are in Patreon. And, oh, hello, Michelle. Glad you could make it. The stars kind of indicate how long you have been a sponsor. So the green star, if you hover over it, it says sponsor 3 months. And the pink star says 6 months. And I think, so if it's just the Black Monster, that's a brand new sponsor. And then I can't remember all the colors. I know there's blue, which I think is 1 month. Yeah, so you start out at black, and then you go to blue, and then green, and then pink, and then there's 1 year after that, and then 2 years. So that's what the stars mean. Deb cursed a fan brush yesterday. That's awesome. Oh yeah, there's all the, thank you, Atra. Yep, so the blue is 1 month. The green is 2 months, the pink is 6 months, orange is a year, and the gold star is 2 years. Set an amount for the Pet Rescue Center or St. Jude's, and when we pledge that amount, you do a surprise for us. That could be interesting. I don't really know. I'll have to think about it. I'll think about that. Michelle had a question about selling art. If you're using Michael's canvas, the economic ones, you take that. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit earlier, Michelle. I know you're just joining us. Basically, my rant about that was that materials don't matter, okay? You don't have to use, you can use top of the line materials, the most expensive, best quality materials possible, and make absolute junk art that nobody wants to buy. Likewise, you can use absolutely the cheapest junk materials ever and make incredible art that sells for, you know, a lot of money. Materials don't matter. I think it's wise to take into consideration things like archival quality. With a canvas, you don't really have to worry about that. There is a really awesome collage artist that I've recently been following, and he uses glue sticks and construction paper. I mean, you know, cheap construction paper, like the cheap stuff. And he has done work for ad campaigns for like Chanel No. 5. He's had his work in like Juxtapoz magazine. He uses cheap materials that you can probably find at the dollar store. So your materials do not matter. They really don't matter. And how come patrons don't get stars? It's a YouTube thing. I wish that I had the ability to give the patrons stars, but that's just part of the YouTube sponsorship thing. It's automatic. And, well, hello, Barbara. Welcome. Yeah, if I had the ability to give you guys all stars, I would do it. I have no control over that. What else, you guys? What else do you want to talk about? Anything, anything, anything? Wow, Mr. Moon is being quiet, and he's even in this room. He's asleep on the couch over there. You guys don't have any other questions? Nothing? Oh, Barbara likes my purple walls. Thank you. This room, actually my entire house, when we bought it, it was painted what I refer to as like a Band-Aid color. It was horrible. It was kind of a fleshy color. It looked like a Band-Aid. So this room was like this horrible Band-Aid color. And then my plywood wall that I showed you was painted red. It wasn't a horrible red, but with the Band-Aid color in the rest of the room, it was awful. Yeah, so I like my royal purple much better. Do I love working from home now? We'll see. I mean, I haven't. Last night was the first time I have been able to like stand at my easel and actually paint. So I haven't really gotten into the swing of it just yet. We'll see. And non-viewing party has no queue? What do you mean, Zeynep? Yeah. Thank you so much, Michelle. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it. I have no idea what you mean by no queue, Zeynep. Oh, a joke. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. I seem to bewitch folks. I wish I had special powers. If I had special powers, oh man, the things that I would do. This world would be a very different place. No? Purple is the color of royalty. I do not have superpowers. Look into my eyes. You will watch my videos 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You will tell everybody and get them all to subscribe. If that works, then I have special powers. Bye, Tan. I'm glad you got to make it for a minute. What's my favorite pizza topping? I don't know that I have just one. Right now, it's probably red onions. It changes. It used to be anchovies. And I haven't had anchovies for a while, and I don't know why. Yeah, I do. I actually love anchovies. Oh, now my mouth is watering. Lisa thinks her Jane brushes are magic wands. Yes. Katrina says you need to commission one of those pop doll things. I would love to have a pop of myself. How cool would that be? Is that a thing? Can I do that? I gotta figure that out. Gross ×2. Oh, anchovies. Anchovies are the best. They're salty. To pick the little bones out of your teeth. That part's kind of gross, but anchovies are awesome. Oh, Barbara, you're so sweet. Thank you. People on Etsy who do custom ones? I have to look into that. That would be pretty cool. But it won't be official. It won't be officially cool until you can buy Jane Pop at like Michael's. That would be rad. And get a bobblehead. I have a Bob Ross bobblehead. I don't think you could see him when I turn my camera. I will show you. Let me grab my Bob Ross bobblehead. I got this at Michael's. Wait, no, I got it at Barnes & Noble. Yeah. And he makes sounds, but it sounds pretty terrible. So first he comes with like this little A-frame thing with little Bob Ross paintings on it. It's super cute. See, each side has a painting on it. So it's got all these little Bob Ross paintings. Oh, so cute. And then my little Bob Ross bobblehead. See, his head is gigantic, man. Boink. And then if you push the button, it like has little Bob Ross sayings, but it really sounds horrible. Let's see. See if you can hear it.
This would be a good place for my little squirrel to live.
Could you hear that? About pick a place for my little squirrel to live?
Let's put a few little highlights in here just to make them little rascals just sparkle in the sun.
I love it when he calls things little rascals. So that's my Bob Ross bobblehead. I think that a Jane bobblehead would be funny. Stephanie, I've been told that, actually. I have a Handmaid's Tale costume, too. So, yeah, been told that a lot. The Bob Ross board game? I've never even heard of that. Ooh, it's raining here. It just started raining. Yay. Let's see. Can you guys see how my backyard is so pretty? Look how green it is out there, except for my junk that's like in front of my door. And now it's raining outside. I'm so happy today. Chill with Bob Ross. I'm going to have to look that up. Hey, Vince, can you look that up?
Okay.
Thank you. I love having him here so I can just like order him around rather than, you know, having to wait until I get home. Oh, my mom has thunder at her house. No thunder here. There's an Elizabeth Moss bobblehead. We could just like modify it. That would be hilarious. Okay, well, let's, my throat is starting to get super dry. Why did you say darn? It's raining, Mom. Rain is the best. You should be like, darn, it stopped raining. When it starts raining, you're like, yes, my life is now complete. That's what rain does. So if there's anything else that you guys really want to talk about, let's have it. Otherwise, we'll probably wrap it up here pretty soon. And then I will get you the link to Tuesday's video. I won't put the link out publicly, and obviously there's nothing there to do except get the materials list. I will put the link out publicly around 9 a.m. my time on Tuesday morning, just like I do every week for the regular video. We will be going live at noon my time, so like 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific. So I'll put it out earlier and we'll go live later and we'll see how it goes. I'm nervous to broadcast from my home for the first time. I don't know why. I gotta set up and just do a couple tests, make sure that I know where my computer and everything is gonna go and how that works. Okay, let's see. We have a couple questions. Oh yeah, we don't have thunder, just the rain. Ooh, Nisa, me and you, we would be such good friends painting in the rain. It does put me in the mood to paint. I'm going to paint as soon as I'm done here. Have you ever thought about streaming on Twitch? You know, I've heard of Twitch. Like, I know the word Twitch, and that's where that ends. I don't know anything about Twitch. I guess it's something I need to look into sometime, but I just haven't had the time. I guess it's something I need to look into. Well, thanks for coming, Michelle, and I will see you on Tuesday. And, oh, just in case any of you were here late and you didn't get to see, here's what we will be painting on Tuesday, except we won't have a drunk tree. I did want it to kind of have a little bit of a twisty trunk, but I didn't want it to look like it was falling down the hill. It looks like it's about to roll down the hill. So, yeah, I'll post the link. It will have the materials list in it. I'll have that posted here in about 30 minutes for you guys. So, yeah, thanks for coming by, everybody. It's always awesome to talk to you, and we will do it again very, very soon. So, oh, Vince! Ooh. I'm going to go kick his butt. I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.